Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jen checking in. How you living? How you feel? All right, let's go, you guys. So it is Monday nights. Okay, Monday at 8 o'clock on the dot. Okay, Real Talk with Jen. What is Real Talk with Jen? With this show right here, okay, this show is to give people a platform, an opportunity. Creatives. I'm a creative. What is a creative? The people that make the stuff spec me on right now, like the cell phone, the light, the mic, okay? The innovators, the people that think outside the box, the people that have the vision that nobody understands at all. It's like, what is that? You'll find out when I make it. You'll find out when I take maybe something that's already created and just make it better, enhance it, right? Or maybe there's a topic or subject or something and you just say, you know what, this needs to be, we need to go a little bit further, a little bit deeper, right? Because that can sometimes make a creator or innovator say, you know what, I need to find something to fix that, resolve that issue, right? So that's what we do is inspire minds, motivate people, right? So Real Talk with Jen, this podcast, it starts here on Facebook and then, it carries over to other platforms, right? So thank you for tuning in, tapping in. So tonight's guest, okay, has created, put into the atmosphere something new, a new product, okay? Her book, okay, she's a new author. And I can't wait to have her share about her book, Vision Builder. So her name is Makita Phillips, author, serial entrepreneur. So let's go ahead and get Miss Phillips on. Okay. Welcome, 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 Miss Makita. It's not, I want you to say, because I know how I say it, and I know I had initially put a R in that thing. So say it for
I
me.
know everybody do it's Makita. Like Makita Tools.
Okay.
Makita Tools, it's like Makita without the R. Everybody try to put the R in there.
Awesome, awesome. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. So I wanted to just get into a little bit of who you are. So one, you are a new author. This your first book?
Yes.
Okay, congratulations, new author. That's a big step when you write a book because you have to overcome your mind and trying to figure out what people are going to think about that thing, right? So before we get into that book, I need people to know a little bit about you. We got to have what we call heart connections, right? Because somebody, I'm pretty sure once you see your background, probably has the same, maybe it's something, a book or something that they need to birth, right? They need to get from vision in here to out here where we can see and be manifested, right? So tell us a little bit about where you're from.
So I'm originally born from New York, Long Island.
Okay.
I moved to Georgia when I was a little bit 3 to 4 years old with my mom, and I've been down in Georgia ever since.
Okay, now where are you at in Georgia?
Well, I was raised in South Moultrie, Georgia. Shout out. But right now I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and I've been here over 8 to 9 years.
Now you said South what now?
Moultrie, Georgia.
Is that like a small town?
Yes, a small town. It's kind of by the Florida line, Tallahassee.
Okay.
It's like 30 minutes from there.
Okay, so that's significant. That's important. I want the reason why that's important is because I'm from a small town, right? So a lot of times when you're from a small town, there's something that you want to be, but you just have not seen amongst the people around you, right? So how many other authors you got in your family?
None that I know of.
So you're the first.
Yes, yes.
Come on now, come on, chain breaker. Come on, chain breaker. Yes, yes. Okay, so we are the first. You are the first to become an author. Now I know you do some other things because I met you on set. So I know you're an actress and you're a makeup artist, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Now, how many of those you saw in your family?
Actress, no, I'm the first. Makeup artist, I would say first. I don't. Some of my cousins they do makeup, but I don't know like firsthand when it comes to like that. But hairstylist, yes, it runs.
Now you're a celebrity makeup artist, though, right?
Yes.
So does that make you the first celebrity makeup artist?
It does.
All right, come on. That's what I'm saying. Okay, we chain breakers. Come on now, we digging. We gonna dig out this thing. So you from a small town near Tallahassee, probably a town that not a lot of people are aware of, right? But you are small town girls with big city dreams, and you decided to move to Atlanta, Georgia to pursue them, right?
Correct.
So I want to know when you moved to Atlanta, because we're gonna get to this bit because to this book because this is just the name of your book is called Vision Builder. So I want to get into a little bit of how this vision built into who you are right now. So when you moved to Atlanta, what was your plan?
Well, when I came to Atlanta, my plan was to come here to be a supermodel. That was always my vision, always my dream, as since I was a little girl.
Okay, a supermodel. So you model now?
Not at this moment, but I did when I first came to Atlanta somewhat.
Okay. So when you came to Atlanta and you did just that. Now I'm pretty sure overnight it didn't happen overnight. It was something that you kind of maybe looked at and processed, right?
Right, correct.
Okay. And it led to the next thing. So that was part of the vision. So how did you get to the next thing, which is really important as a celebrity stylist? Did it happen overnight?
No, it did not happen overnight. When I first came here, I actually came to do an audition. I think it was Explore Talent. That was the first place that I went. I didn't have too much knowledge about what I was doing, but it kind of happened that gave me the vision to that. And after along the way, when I first did on the Bonner Brothers, I was a model for their products, and it led from there to me becoming an actor on the T.I. and Tiny show through the connection
Okay.
of me modeling. So it just kind of flowed into the next vision. And as I got on set doing acting, I've been a hairstylist. That's my first love. When I got on set, I started looking at the people that was doing the hair, the people that was doing the makeup. I was like, I want to do that, and by my birthday, I think it was 2015, in the mix of all that, I got a phone call, didn't know who it was, inquiring about getting their hair done or however. Found out that it was Cassie Davis from the Tyler Perry show. So that was my first celebrity that I did their hair. And it kind of just went in from that all the way up into me being a coach when it comes to financial literacy.
Okay, so y'all see how she vision building, right? Vision building. So let's get into this book because I just want them to hear a little bit of what vision building is. So tell us, how did you? We got a little bit of a few pointers there. Now, how did you get to the book? What made you write the book?
So what made me write the book, because I would go around and I would ask people, what their vision was, because I was just full of vision. And I just felt like I had this gift that if I got a vision, I just build on it. It didn't matter if I didn't have the money or what position I was in, I would just go for it. I would research and things like that. And when I would ask people, what is your vision? They would be like, I don't know. What you mean you don't know? You don't know what you want to do in life? So after asking a couple people and they didn't know, I said, maybe I should create something that they can, they can pull that vision out of them, give them something to think about, and I wrote this book in the middle of COVID after coming out of the hospital, been out of the hospital down for 8 days. They was giving up on me, getting ready to send me to ICU. And in the midst of that, me coming home, I wrote the book.
So now, I learned today. So I'm a substitute teacher, and I learned that maybe some people just don't know what the definition of a word is. So what is a vision?
A vision is direction. A vision is something that you visualize of where you want to go. It gives you the straight, clear path to the thing that you want to accomplish.
Okay, so now let's get into the building, right? Because the thing is, with the vision, you have to know who you are, right? You have to have a picture of who you are and where you want to go. So basically,
Correct.
you're saying that the people, and I'm very familiar with asking people, like, do you have a dream? Which I always say,
Right.
everybody's born with a dream, right? Everybody's born with something.
Yes.
But sometimes it dies along the lines of the 9 to 5 and trying to get a paycheck, right? And then we just slowly forget. So with saying that, would you say that the things that you saw, especially the things that you have been able to become and achieve, since you did not see those things in your own family, how did you get the vision for the things you've been able to accomplish? How did you know that they were for you?
Well, I know when it first started, I would sit around and I would watch TV. T.I. is one of them. That was a manifestation right there. I used to watch the Family Hustle, T.I. and Tiny Show, and I used to always just envision me on that show, or envision me in that type of life, living as a family, and just doing big things. I just knew, I always felt like I was destined to do more than what I was already doing or where I was at. So it kind of started from there, and I would just see things and I'll be like, man, that's me right there. Even with the way I dress, the way I carry myself, I envision these things of how I want to be and what I want to embody in my own life.
Okay, so a feeling. So often, do you journal?
Yes, a lot.
Okay. So when you journal, right? The Bible say, write it down, make it plain. When you journal, would you say you get a feeling, like you can feel?
Yes, you can
and
feel.
Then you starting to see it, right?
Yes.
And then things start to happen around you, like seeing on the TV, and you putting yourself in that place.
Right, absolutely, and that's why acting was so important for me. That kind of moved me into a character, meaning my own character that I embodied myself, because it was significant. Each show that I was on, it was like my own life, even within the character. So that is significant for me as well. So it gave me that feeling to really live within the vision.
Yes. So let's get back to the book. Give me some pointers, some things that your book about, at least one or two things that's key about your book, and why vision building is so important, and why they need to get your book.
I first say understanding. Understanding is one key thing that is in the book. Because I feel like you can't do anything if you don't understand what you're first doing, if you don't understand why you're doing it. I feel like that is a big thing, and even in visualizing or bringing your vision alive. That will be one, is just having an understanding of why you want to do it and how and where you want to take it. You have to envision it already done, it already there. So if you already envision it there, you can do the research and do step by step of what you need to get to that vision, and you just follow the plan as you have written it down.
So act as though it is so now.
Yes.
Do you familiar with the words I am?
The what now?
You familiar with the words I am?
I am, yes.
I am so happy, so grateful now that.
Yes.
I am so happy, so grateful now that. Not I want, but now.
It's
right now.
Right now.
Now, because you can want forever. We want a lot of things.
That's right.
But like you said, acting as though it's already happened. So what's your next pointer that you want to share from your book?
One another thing, this is like, I had to learn this even in building my vision. When you're building a vision, and depending on where you want to go, you have to be able to know what are your bad habits and how to get rid of your bad habits to replace them with the good habits that's going to get you to manifest your vision to reality. Because what I learned on my journey, that I got so far, but I had a lot of bad habits that I was still carrying. And I heard God tell me, I'm showing it to you, but I can't release it to you until you surrender all. And that stuck with me. So I began to heal. I began to get rid of some things so that I can continue my journey in my vision building. So I feel like that is so important, because a lot of times we want to do things, but we want to hold on to the new too. And we want to get to the new.
Oh, so what I got from that is you have to unlearn, to relearn, retrain your brain for the right thing. Because oftentimes, I talk about all the time, you have borrowed some of the self-talk. You have about 60,000 thoughts a day. And some of those thoughts is self-doubt and unbelief, or is it really self, or we borrowed somebody else's doubt and
Right.
unbelief, and then we
Absolutely.
start replaying it in our minds as though it was our own until it becomes our own voice telling us we can't do something. So then we got to unlearn that and retrain to say, yes, I can.
Yes. Absolutely.
Right? And then release and be released. I use that all the time, right? Release the old things.
Yeah.
I talk about Sarah. You can't look back. Ain't nothing back there.
You can't. If you look back, it's going to keep you stagnated. It's going to pull you back, and it's going to keep you from the things that you say you want.
Right. You can't look back. It's nothing. The only thing you would look, now I wouldn't even say look back, but just have lessons, from it, from things that have happened to prepare you into the next thing so that you don't repeat cycles. You say,
Correct.
well, you know what? This is how I can do the next thing better.
Yes.
Right. So this book that you've written, do you plan on, because vision building, as we're talking about building, and everything you've done has built up to the next thing, to this book, do you plan on writing another book?
Yes, I actually, it's already getting edited. So that one should be released 2023, because actually I wrote this book in 2020. But I wrote it kind of fast. But God, when I released it, but then I snatched it back. It was like, no, it's just not ready. But it was some things that I had to take care of within myself before I got to this point right now. And I redid the cover, made it my own, added a few little more touches. And here we are.
And how okay is that to say, hold on, let me take care of self? I talk about personal development and growth all the time, because before you can release, I tell people, I never tell somebody else to do something I personally have not done.
Right.
Because how do I tell you to heal or give you the steps if I personally have not done it? So how okay is it to say, you know what, hold on, let me deal with self first, so
Yes.
that when I go out, because when you release a book or anything, I tell people motivational speakers come in different forms. It could
Yes.
be a singer, a poet, your preacher, your teacher. It
Mhm.
motivates a person, a motivational speaker. It can be verbal, nonverbal. It's just a person that moves you, calls you into action to do something, right? But you yourself, you have to be able to do that in your own self.
Right. Right. But
So
yeah.
so, how important is it to deal with self before you can birth something out and be okay to say, hey, you know what? I've dealt with me. Now I am able to put this thing out there. And when people come, because they're going to come like, you know what? You
Yeah.
put that there. How did you, because you can only give so much, but
Right.
they're going to want a deeper level of understanding. And it's going to probably take you somewhere in your mind, right? And you
Right.
have to be prepared for that. So, how important is that to deal with self? And what exactly, what I, yeah, give me some of what you did to deal with yourself and prepare yourself.
It's very, very important to deal with yourself, because you don't want to put out something and you want to send the right message. You want to send the right energy to that person, and you want to be ready to be able to let them know from um, what you have lived, to be able to do the things that you have done. So when it came to me just getting my spiritual life intact, getting my life together, me knowing who I am as a woman, really me building my confidence in who I am and who God say I am, to prepare me to launch out into the world, to where I am comfortable enough to be able to share comfortably with people and not have all these distractions in my own life, to where I cannot do that. To deliver, to really just help them build their visions as well.
Yes, yes, ma'am. So I did want to talk about some of the things do you still have your ministry?
Yes, yes.
Okay. How long?
I started it. It was 2000 and I want to say 14 is when I initially started it. Even with that, when God gave it to me, it's called Journey of Faith Wellness Center. I started helping young women, that was in the streets and different things like that, didn't have places to live. But even in that, I had to step back, because it was some things that I wasn't delivered from, and I started to jump on their level, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
allowing the devil to use me, thinking that I was doing good. So I even too, that's why it's very, very important that you take care of the things that is inside of you, because you don't never want to plant those bad seeds in the people that you are wanting to help.
Wow. That's so important. So important. So basically, that just adds on to the transparency, I believe, is the most important thing in a testimony.
Yes, absolutely.
Being transparent and saying, hey, I'm not perfect, and that's okay.
That's right.
I admit, while I was trying to help you go through this thing, I was having to deal with myself at this time. So I had to step back for a second. Give me a second.
Yes.
Hold on, let me take a breather. Because when you pouring out, pouring out, pouring out, and nothing's coming back in, the devil steps in and he said, you know what? Oh, she running on empty. Hold on, let me see a little something to it.
Yep.
Let me fill her up with some mess.
Yes.
Right? So then you have to say, no, wait a minute, hold on, Paul. Wait, no. I've been called to do something else. Let me deal with speak to my heart. And it's a whole song about speak to my heart, right? That's why I say I like to have a heart-to-heart experience, a heart talk, because people need to know what's really going on. Because a lot of people think stuff happens overnight.
It doesn't.
And it doesn't. These are seeds y'all are hearing her. That's why it's called vision builder, right? Y'all are listening to how she's building from a small town girl who didn't see an actress, who didn't see an author, might have saw some makeup, didn't see a celebrity. So her vision went past just saying, I'm going to do makeup and hair.
Right.
It went further. Now, let me ask you, out of people in your family, friends, did you share your vision, and how much encouragement did you really get in what you shared with them?
I got a little, not a whole lot, because typical thing, hey, you need to work, you got to take care of the kids, different things like that. So it really wasn't like a whole lot of encouragement. And I feel like the reason why it wasn't, because where they may not have went, like for my mom, and I love her dearly. She was a master cosmetologist. But she gave it up, at the young, she was like, forget it, I'm done. And I was raised in a salon. So, but for me, I just seen doing hair on a bigger level than she may have seen it, So I just think that if a person have not went a certain place, they can't necessarily help or necessarily encourage you to a place that they may not believe that you can go, Yes. Because they didn't go, or they didn't maybe want to go. You just never know.
Exactly. So for those of y'all listening, this is where we talked about the self-doubt and unbelief. So in the event, let's just say Miss Phillips had not listened to herself and believed in herself, and actually she saw her mom give up on her dream, we wouldn't be sitting here today if she had followed the same footsteps. If mom had said, you know what, it ain't for you, go get your job. And may I ask how many children you have?
I have 5 children.
Okay, 5 children.
Yes.
So you moved to Atlanta. How many did you have at the time you moved to Atlanta?
At the time I had 5.
Okay. So for my mothers out there, because I get it all the time. I got the kids. I can't go. I know I gotta wait. I gotta hold on because I got the kids. And all right. Okay. Here you're looking at a mother, okay, who moved to Atlanta with her 5. But I got people with 1 that swear up and down they can't make a move.
Right.
When you decide that you want to move, God will help you.
Yes. You got to move though. He cannot help you if you don't move. And if I can, my mom, she helped me when it came to the kids. And she was supportive in it, as far as going with me, making sure that the kids was good. But I would like to share the first experience of me even coming to Atlanta and going to the audition. Actually, we the I was driving a not a suburban expedition, and all my kids was I had four with me at the time. My oldest daughter wasn't, and all of them was little kids, doorstep every other year. And my mom was with me this day, and we was right in there. We probably like got maybe an hour 30 minutes, or maybe away from the place, and the truck broke down on the way. I was just like, no, this cannot be happening right now. I fought my way here. And I tell you, me, my mom, and my kids, I had one on my hip and the other one right here. And we was taking turns, and we had to walk up this long hill just to get there. Even though I was late, but they still let me audition. So you just have to be very, very determined. Don't allow kids, bills, nothing get in your way to stop you from building your vision. Because that's the number one thing that stops us, because we feel like we have all these other responsibilities. But when we actually can do it, if we're very determined to get what we want.
Okay. Basically what she's saying, you guys, if he gave it to you, it's because it's possible.
That's right.
The only thing that can stop you from doing it is you, when you get in your own head. Now I want to ask you something important. Do you have any mentors or coaches, any leaders that you listen to?
Yes, I do. I have Coach T. Anthony Money, and I have Dana Cola Smith Jackson is my coach. And my first coach, which God bless the dead, he just passed away the other day. And his name is Richard Welch. And he was the first one that, when it comes to personal development and seeing things on a bigger level, he was the first one. Him and his wife, Monique Welch, was the first ones to teach me. And then it went from there to, Coach T and Dr. Cola Smith Jackson. So I have a lot of, and I also have a spiritual mentor, Chantal Moore. Shout out to her as well. So I have a circle of people that, keep me in line, keep me motivated. And I also listen to people, Eric Thomas. I also pick people that I listen to on YouTube and different things like that. So I didn't have that before, because that's why it's so important to remove the old things, the old people, the old places, because they will hold you back. That doesn't mean it's bad people. It's just that they're not going where you're going. And I had to learn that, because I had friends over 10 years. And it was like I was still trying to hold on, but they wasn't seeing what I was seeing. So it was like, you know what? I love you, but I got to run on. I got to go on.
So what y'all heard there is, every leader needs a feeder. You cannot, the Bible say, do not lean to your own understanding. It's not just talking about the Bible. It's talking about life in general. Every leader needs everybody needs somebody that they can listen to, somebody that's either done what they're wanting to do, or they're doing it.
Yes.
So I want to just say, with your book, I want you to share how everyone can get your book. I want you to share how they can contact you on social media for me.
Okay. I am on social media as Makita Phillips, and also Celebrity Styles by Makita as well. And if you would like a copy of the book, all you got to do is just DM me with your email address, and I will get that invoice sent to you. And I did bring a copy of the book just so y'all can see it.
Yes, let us see. Okay. Yes, vision builder. I love it. Go. I love it.
Yeah. So, of course, the leading verse is Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision and make it plain. So this is what this book would do. It will give you understanding, give you knowledge, help you break some things down to kind of understand what are the things that you need as you break your vision down to be able to build it and execute. That will even take you into, my new book that's going to be coming out. It's going to lead you to there.
So write the vision, make it plain.
Make it plain.
Make it real plain. And then visualize, but not only write it, but act upon it. That's how we got a book. That's the reason why she's here. That's how she's been able to accomplish. She didn't just write it. She didn't just visualize. She broke it down and it's step by step. And now she's here, and this leads to an even bigger vision. It hits her having another book that she's already got an editing process. So vision builders. So make sure if you're not sure how to build upon your vision, make sure you get back with her, Miss Phillips. Get the book so that you can build upon what you see, because sometimes what we see is so big it's scary, and it's
Yeah,
like, no, that's got to be impossible. But I promise you, if you can see it, it's because it's achievable. The only person that's saying it can't be done is you. Everybody else don't count. If anybody else say it can't be done, they don't count.
that's
The
right.
most of the person that it counts is you. So thank you so much, Miss Phillips, for coming on and sharing your brand new book with us and a testimony of your journey, because people need to know this is not an overnight thing. They need to know that some things they might have, some people maybe didn't believe the way they did. You have to let people help in the capacity that they can. And if it just doesn't pan out, you're going to have to release and be released so that you can release what's inside of you.
That's
The wealthiest place in the world is the graveyard. We can't
right.
take everything there. So
No.
thank you again. I appreciate you. Y'all make sure to get with Miss Makita Phillips and put your information down in the comment section so they can get back to you.
Okay.
And thank you and congratulations on your new release and the one that's coming and everything that you're doing. Okay.
Absolutely. And thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. You have a good night.
All right. You too.
So, you guys, I just want to say thank you for tuning in to another episode of Real Talk with Jen. I'm trying to tell you, you guys, hopefully you got something from this that look, it's a process. When you have a vision, when God gave you something in here, okay, it's because hold it here. All right. You just got to get it out. Okay. And be particular about who you share your vision with. Okay. One thing I have learned is that, like she said with her mom, if a person has let go of their dreams, I can identify with that with my father before he passed. He could only help in the capacity that he knew how. He couldn't quite see, he could see a little bit, but you have to let people help in the capacity that is theirs. Sometimes it could be like babysitting, or it could be, hey, let me do this part. Maybe you got an event or something, let me help put it together. I can't really quite see, but maybe you need a cake or some chicken or so, something, whatever their capacity is. And then if it's not, sometimes you just got to be on the outside looking in, and you got to be okay with that, right? And God will send you those who are for you that you can align with. So thank you again for checking in with Real Talk with Jen.